which is this Vedic tradition that we're presenting. I'm not here to present my own philosophy. We're not here to present anything of our own, because we realize that that is very foolish, that we are conditioned living entities, that we really don't have, our opinions are not so fortified in knowledge, because we struggle with ignorance, that our opinions also, they're faulty. So that's why we take the Vedic opinion or the divine opinion, and we try to only follow that. And who preserves that? A disciplic succession of saintly personalities, gurus. And the qualities of a bona fide guru can be, they're shared in the revealed scriptures, what they are, what they look like, and what they do. And we can test. Especially in the beginning, it's very important to test the guru. It's very important that we test the guru to make sure he has that or she has that qualification. And so, but all of that qualification is given in the Vedas. And we won't go into all that. But we are going to now take this advertisement for this whole Vedic philosophy and see, what do you get? What's in it for us? What's in it for me? So actually this first verse of Shikshastakam is like the advertisement. So, but we will maybe do a little, just a little prelude bhajan for the scripture. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda, everyone. Jai 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 Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhaktavinda. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda. Jai Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhaktavinda. Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jai Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev. All right. So we are going to go to this verse. And you guys can repeat after me. We can learn it. Everyone, it's recommended to actually learn these 8 verses. And you can recite them even every day. So repeat after me. Cheto darpana marjanam. Bhava mahadavagni nirvapanam. Shreya Kaidava Chandrika Vitaranam. Vidya Vadu Jivanam. Anandam Buddhivadanam. Pratipadam. Purnamrita Swadanam. Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate.
Sarvatmasnapanam param vijayate.
Shri Krishna Sankirtana.
Shri Krishna Sankirtana.
Okay. Synonyms and synonyms and translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Ki Jai. Chaita, of the heart. Darpana, the mirror. Marjana, cleansing. Bhava, of material existence. Mahadav Agni, the blazing forest fire. Nirvapanam, extinguishing. Shreya, of good fortune. Kairava, the white lotus. Chandrika, the moonshine. Vitaranam, spreading. Vidya, of education. Vadu, wife. Jivanam, the life. Ananda, of bliss. Ambudhi, the ocean. Vardhanam, increasing. Pratipadam, at every step. Purnamrita, of the full nectar. Aswadanam, giving a taste. Sarva, for everyone. Atmasnapanam, bathing of the self. Param, transcendental. Vijayate, let there be victory. Shri Krishna Sankirtanam, for the congregational chanting of the holy name of Krishna.
For the congregational chanting of the holy name.
Okay. Come on, we're going to zoom out now. Okay, translation. Let there be all victory for the chanting of the holy name of Lord Krishna, which can cleanse the mirror of the heart and stop the miseries of the blazing fire of material existence. That chanting is the waxing moon that spreads the white lotus of good fortune for all living entities. It is the life and soul of all education. The chanting of the holy name of Krishna expands the blissful ocean of transcendental life. It gives a cooling effect to everyone and enables one to taste full nectar at every step. So, Prabhupada's purport. It's not much of a purport, so apologize for that. So this is the first verse of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Shikshashtaka. The other 7 verses are found in the same chapter in text 16, 21, verses 16, or text 16, 21, 29, 32, 36, 39, and 47. So if you read this final chapter of the Chaitanya Charitamrita, this is where you'll first get a taste of Shikshastakam, these 8 prayers. So now you know where to find it. What we'll do now is, before I speak anything, I've already spoken so many things today, but it's actually improper for me to speak on my own strength. What? Yeah, sure, you can scroll.
Bobby Arm's just
Yeah.
running after.
So, you have to get always feel around it. It's really tearing up the blood. So you can repeat these prayers with me.
Om Jnana-Timirandasya Jnana-Salakaya Chakshur-Militang Yena Tasmat Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Swayagrupa-Kadamayam Tirati Swapadantikam Vanyehan Shri Guru Shri Yuta-Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatan Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadhutam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Samanita Shri Krishna Kanvitamscha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Pade Gopesha Gopika Kanda Radha Kanda Namaste Radha Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishwamani Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauramani Prasarine Nirvishesha Shubhaya Ashtya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
First, I want to offer my deep respects and my full heart at the feet of the teachers, the live teachers who have helped me in my life, both Diksha and Shiksha, the initiating spiritual master, and then also the instructing spiritual master, who they've been helping me for some years now, and I'm really grateful, and I'd have nothing to offer you without their mercy and help. I then want to offer my obeisances unto all of the whole lineage of pure saints that carry this message down and have enlivened and empowered the teachers that are still living today to give this message to us. And I want to finally offer my obeisances unto all of my spiritual brothers and sisters here. Vanchakalpataribhyascha kripasindhubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. So that's a prayer that's honoring how merciful the Vaishnavas are. So it means, let us now offer our obeisances unto all the Vaishnavas, the devotees of the Lord, who are just like desire trees, fulfilling all the desires of everyone, and full of compassion on the fallen conditioned soul. So this is the nature of a saint. And you are all budding and blossoming saints, and we're all budding and blossoming saints here, but we're maybe in the beginning stage. And just like you don't pick a fruit before it's ready, so we're not quite ready yet. So we got to stay connected on the vine here. Stay connected and get nourished by the saints until we're fully ready to share our fruit with the world. But let's go to this Chaitanya Charitamrita. What are you doing now, dear son? Anyhow, let's go back to this verse. Dave, you need to help me. So, if you didn't know, this is my son Abiram. He's brand new to this world. It's been a year now, so he's a lot of work at this age. This toddler phase is, my gosh, it's insane actually, but it's rewarding in many ways too. So let's start with each part. So the first part goes Cheto Darpana Marjan. So one we should understand about this verse is this is like the advertisement. What's going to happen to us if we engage in this process here? If I take to this, because right now what's happening is people, they're in life, they're trying to control and enjoy life. Life is my oyster and it's for my enjoyment. But they keep getting disappointed and finding themselves out of control and not enjoying life. Has that ever been anyone's experience? Yes. This is actually natural because this world is not our oyster. We're not in control, and we're not the focal points of enjoyment. And when we try to be the focal points of enjoyment, then we upset other people who want to be the focal point of enjoyment, and then there's clash and quarrel and problems and things like that. That's why every war starts. That's why every problem is because everyone's competing for enjoyment. But the Bhagavatam recommends that we don't sit here and try to compete for enjoyment. That we try to turn our attention, instead of looking away from the great light. We look back to that light of God and try to give God enjoyment. That's why he really had two main commandments. You remember the first commandment of Jesus?
Oh goodness, maybe not.
I can tell you, it's okay. He says, love God with all your heart, mind, soul, strength, and will. And then you can love one another as you love yourself. But to love God is the first great commandment. You see, these are the two most important commandments. It's one of the 10 commandments as well. But this is actually we should turn our attention back towards God and render Him our love. Which means we render Him our service. Try to hear about Him, try to glorify Him, try to remember Him. These are all services. So especially that's what we're trying to do right now. So the first thing that happens when we take to this, it says Param Vijayate. So let there be supreme victory. Param Vijayate to Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. To the group, Sangha, Kirtanam, glorification of Sri Krishna. So let us gather in groups and glorify the Lord. And Param Vijaya, let there be supreme victory to this. And especially this Kirtanam of Krishna's holy name, where we honor and glorify the name of Krishna. So that's why we chant this Maha Mantra, containing the name of Krishna. And it's a very powerful mantra. So what happens if you engage your life in chanting this mantra? What happens if you engage your life in trying to hear more about God, try to repeat what you've heard, glorify God to others? That's what I'm doing right now. I'm just repeating what I've heard from saintly personalities. And then this allows you, by doing this, but the best way to learn something, do you know what they say, a Western axiom? The best way to learn something is? Yes, but actually even more than practice. What's the more advanced stage of practicing?
Hearing.
Yes, but not just hearing. What's the next stage?
Sharing with others.
Sharing with others. The best way to learn something is to teach something, actually. Yes, if you want to really learn something, start teaching it to others, and you'll really learn it. Or you're going to embarrass yourself. So it's, yes. So you maybe a little bit of both will happen. But if you teach something to others, you'll really learn it. So if you really want to learn something for your PhD, take a junior student in your PhD course. A couple of you, like Avani, your PhD. Take a junior student and just try to share with them, all the things, and you'll really learn the subject matter. Anything, if you really want to learn something, you teach that thing. And then that'll allow you to learn it. So that will allow you to really remember. But first you have to hear it, as you said, Shravan. That has to be done. So after we've heard and we start sharing, we start glorifying, there's something that will start to really happen to us. And the first thing that happens is called Cheto Darpana Marjanam. It means the mirror, the reflection, a mirror reflects. So the mirror of the heart is compared to a mirror, a darpana. Darpa, could mean arrogance actually. Mirrors, when you look in the mirror too much, you can, darpa can mean two things. It can mean arrogance, or it could also mean like shame or humility also. When you look in the mirror, you can get very darpa. Oh, look, so those who look in the mirror too much, they get very arrogant. Oh, look how good my body looks and things like this. I'm very interested in looking. Or the opposite effect. If the body's not looking that good and you look in the mirror, you can get a little ashamed. Oh my God, I can't believe I look like this. And things like this. So, but what happens? What does it, the mirror, what does it do? It's reflecting. And actually the Cheto, the consciousness, it's actually a reflection of who we really are. Our real spiritual nature. So what happens though, is if a mirror gets dirty, it's not very good. Did you ever try to look in a dirty mirror? Yeah, it's dusty. I can't really see it big. So when we look in our consciousness right now, and some of us have a really dirty mirror, it's really plastered on there, like maybe some people's mirror is submerged in concrete, and you need like a chisel to get to the mirror. So like this, But what happens is by this process, Cheto Darpana, the mirror of the heart will get cleansed. Your heart will get cleansed, and you'll be able to actually understand who you really are. Oh, Hare Krishna, Priti, you made it. Hare Krishna. And Mahavir has made it. And Niranjan has made it. And Nihir has made it. And your lovely, and your Padmaja, and Padmaja has also come. Very nice. Hare Krishna. Wow. So you're a special guest. We have many special guests here tonight.
His name is Mahavir.
Mahavir, right? I said right or wrong?
You said Mahadev, right?
No, I said Mahavir.
Mahavir.
Yes, yes. I already went through this part of last time when you weren't here. So, we're talking about the Shikshastakam. We're studying Chaitanya Charitamrita, and we're talking what happens when you develop a regular practice of glorifying the Lord. In most easily way is chanting the Lord's holy names. So we chant the Maha Mantra. So Mahavir is going to, right? You know the Maha Mantra? Can you say the Maha Mantra for us quick? Okay, a nice little tune, anything.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Perfect. So when you take to this process of chanting this mantra in your life, there's certain things that happen to you, and it's being described in this verse. So the first thing being described is Cheto Darpana Marjanam. Our consciousness, the mirror of our consciousness, which is very dirty right now. We can't actually understand who we are, which is why we think we're the controller and enjoyer. Really, what do we think we are? We think we're God. Life is my oyster and I'm going to enjoy. And life is for my enjoyment. We think we're God, but we keep getting humbled by life. We find ourselves in a situation where we lose control. We have no control, and we find ourselves in situations where we're not enjoying. And so that's what this world is for, to humble us and teach us, no, that's not your position. You are meant to serve God. You're not meant to try to be God. So this is what's happening. So, in order for that to happen, a lot of cleansing of the consciousness has to happen. A good scrub. You know, some people, they accuse us, you're being brainwashed. And Prabhupada, he joked, yes, our brain needs a good washing. It's very dirty. Yeah, it's very good. you want to wash your consciousness. So that's the first thing that's being happened. You will get brainwashed. But not indoctrinated into some crazy thing. Your consciousness will get cleansed and you'll actually be able to really see who you really are. So that's one of the results of chanting this Maha Mantra, but engaging in all the processes of Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. So first is the consciousness will get cleansed. And what this means for us is all the stages of initial getting faith in bhakti, engaging in bhakti activities like chanting and hearing about Krishna and doing all these things, and going through all the obstacles. It's called Anartha Nivritti. All the obstacles, there are going to be so many things in your life that are going to try and hold you back. And, there's some tests from the Lord, but also there's certain things that you've built in your life, like maybe, for instance, what do you do for a living? Yeah. Electrician. That's honest work. It's good work. But let's say you were a butcher. So, in Krishna consciousness, there's kind of 4 main things that we don't do. And one of them is we don't cause unnecessary suffering to others. So let's say you were a butcher and you make your life literally killing other animals and selling their body parts. And that's quite a brutal thing. And these things can cause obstacles to you trying to purely practice. For me, I used to, I won't get into it, but I used to do crazy things when I was a younger person, and I started getting into these things, and there were a lot of obstacles to my pure spiritual lifestyle that I wanted to have. Because I had a lot of friends and associates who would like to engage in intoxication and like to encourage me to engage in intoxication. And these things are going to be obstacles to our spiritual life. So all of this, all the obstacles, all the way up to a position of what's called nishtha, is involved in this Cheto Darpana Marjanam. And this is the phase we're all in, where our consciousness our mind needs a good cleansing. We need a really good, deep clean. Actually, I had to deep clean my bathroom yesterday because over time we cook so much here, and a lot of the oil, it goes down into the pipes, and we have some older pipes made of cast iron, and it takes the grease and it sucks it to it, and then it clogs the pipes. And so, unfortunately, where the pipe has to be unclogged is in my bathroom, down in our room. So we had to do it, and I had our friend Oscar, he came and do it, but a huge mess. The whole bathroom was covered in this black sludge grease, and it traumatized my wife so much, she just left. And I was just like, I think I have to clean this whole thing, There was no way. There's nothing else, I can't convince anyone else to clean this, I have. So I was just on my hands and knees, deep cleaning the whole bathroom for over an hour. It's a small bathroom, but there was so much grease everywhere. I had to deep clean this whole bathroom. But actually, it reminded me actually of this principle. Our consciousness needs a really, really deep and thorough cleaning. And do you know what's the cleaning process? This whole process here, yes. This Sri Krishna Sankirtana, but it starts, in order to do kirtan, and there should be hearing. So just doing what you're doing now, just sit and hear. You need no qualification. Your only qualification is that you can hear. Can you hear? Yes? Okay. Everyone can hear in this room? Okay, you have all the qualification you need to get started. All you have to do is just come and sit and hear from somebody who has some knowledge. Unfortunately, you have to hear from me, so that's your misfortune. But there are other personalities that I've heard from I'd like to introduce you to, and you should hear from them instead. But for now, for this Friday night, normally you can hear from Danya. Danya gives a very nice class. But unfortunately, you're stuck with me for tonight. So please forgive me that I have this lower qualification. But I'll just try and share what I've heard from people with high qualification. So, Cheto Darpana Marjanam. Your consciousness will become cleansed. And this will allow you, when all the obstacles are removed, you will reach a stage what's called Nishta. You'll become fully fixed, fully determined in what? In serving your highest connection to these pure teachings, and that's your guru, your teacher. So when you become fully fixed in serving your guru, and you're not trying to live life for your own enjoyment anymore, you're trying to live life to serve the best representative you can find, the most saintly personality you can find, who's connecting you to Krishna, this is actually when you can reach the next stage. And so the next stage is called Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam. So Bhava means this material existence. And what is this material existence compared to? A Mahadavagni, a great forest fire. Has anyone ever gotten caught in a forest fire? Probably not, or you might not be here. But a forest fire is a very dangerous situation, and it's filled with tremendous fear and tremendous suffering. So what happens is nirvapanam. The great forest fire of this material existence, the great fearful and suffering condition of our life will be extinguished. So how does that happen? How does this happen? We have the mercy of someone who can put out the fire. We sing every morning, Samsara Dava Nalalita Loka Tranaya Karunya Ganaganatvam Praptasya Kalyana Gunarnavasya Vande Guru Shri Charanada Vindam. So, samsara, it's the same as bhava, this material world. This samsara, it means the cycle of miserable existence. So guess what? Who here took birth in this world? Oh, everyone? Yes. Yes, unfortunately is right. We're all implicated in what's called samsara. This is the miserable cycle of birth, and you have no control who you got born to. Some people really like their parents and their situation. Like Preeti has very nice parents, but some people don't like their parental situation so much. Some people don't even get parents, or they get maybe an initial parents, but something happens to them very early, like Batman or something like this. You know, all the young kids like that one. You know, so something can happen. But we're born, and then we grow in this world, and then old age, we can. Who here wants to get old? Mahavir, you want to get old? Yes. Yes, yeah, I mean, but nobody wants to get old. You know, everyone, you know, my father-in-law, it was his birthday, I think like yesterday or 2 days ago. 2 days ago, it was his birthday. But every year he's like, yeah, I'm 49 this year. He's like 74. But every year he's still saying he's 49. Why? Because the uncomfortable fact that maybe he doesn't want to face, but is that we get old. You have to get old, and you cannot stop it, and it's not pleasant. It's not pleasant. It's not pleasant to get old. But you must. It's one of the miserable situations you must deal with in this life. And you may be at 21 or 20, it's not so relevant to you. Nah, getting old is for other people. I'm not getting old. You will get old. You know, I'm 34 now, and I'm actually noticing I'm at the junction now between youth and middle age, and I'm saying, oh my God, I'm actually experiencing like the aging process. Like before I was just like, it was theoretical, but now it's like the practical is coming to the situation. So we're getting old. So, and then last, death. Nobody wants to die. Have you ever been up on a very high place? Yes. You've been up on a very high place and you get to the edge and you get like very scared at the edge. Why? Because you don't want to die. You don't want to slip and make a mistake and die. It's a very fearful situation. So all of these things, and then what's to speak? There's many miserable situations in here.
My mom was in ICU for 15 days in India.
Oh, so you had a near-death experience. So yes, so you're understanding the samsara is, it's very fearful. I'm glad you made it out and you're with us here today. But don't worry, death is, it has to come, but it's actually okay. If we have the right vision, death is okay. This whole thing is okay that we're going through. It's not that miserable.
Everyone wants to go to heaven.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to die.
Yes. But you must die in this world, but where you go next, that will depend on how you've lived your life here. If you've lived very nicely, you will get a nice destination. If you've lived not so nicely, you will get a not so nice destination, and it will be the proper fruits that you've earned. The seeds you plant, you sow, as Jesus would say, right? So, but if you fully take to this process and you follow the saints, you will have Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam. So we sing Samsara Dava Nala Lita Loka. So this material world, which is like a great forest fire, a Dava Nala, which is afflicting the whole world. Tranaya Karunya Gana Ganatvam. But delivering mercy, like a merciful rain clouds. Yes. No, he's good. He's good. He reminds me of Abhiram. That's what Abhiram likes to do during classes. So, but delivering mercy like a merciful rain clouds. Praptasya Kalyana Gunarna Vasya. He's obtained all these ocean of good qualities. He has them. Vande Guru Shri. I offer my obeisances to the lotus feet of Shri Guru. Because the saintly person, they've connected to the Lord, and the Lord has completely cleansed them of everything and given them His empowerment. They've looked to the Lord, and upon looking to the Lord, it's like an electrical appliance. It's pretty useless without plugging into the power. Oh, you're an electrician. But when you plug in the electrical appliance, it gets charged up and it does its function, if it's a properly functioning electrical appliance. And it's useful. So similarly, if we turn our consciousness towards God, we engage in the Sri Krishna Sankirtanam, what will end up happening is we'll take the teachings of the empowered saints. Everybody has a connection, a way they can connect to saints. And that's what this process is. We're trying to share with you a way that you can all connect to saints. And we're trying to give you all the opportunity how to connect to the saints. But if you do it and you connect them, you serve them. And instead of putting your own selfish enjoyment at the forefront of what's guiding your life, you try to serve the saints and give pleasure to the Lord, and they'll guide you on how to please the Lord. What'll happen is Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam. This whole miserable situation of life will be extinguished. And if you're still experiencing misery in life, who here is experiencing some misery? Your problem is only one thing. You're worried about your own enjoyment more than God's enjoyment. That is why you're experiencing misery. If you yourself try to connect with the saints in your life, and how can I be of service? What can I do to, be engaged for God's enjoyment? And they tell you and you follow that order, you'll be blissful, actually. You'll be blissful in your duty. You won't have to do anything. And all what's causing you to be miserable is your own mental gymnastics that you're doing, trying to arrange everything for your own enjoyment instead. Which is why everybody's miserable in this world. Because the boss he's trying to exploit everyone for his enjoyment at work. And the workers, they're trying to exploit the corporation and, make sure they take their bathroom breaks on the clock and so many other things to try and milk as much time out of their employer and so many things like this. But if we, instead of trying to exploit each other in this world and how can I get a one-up for my enjoyment? If we try to give enjoyment to the Lord and His saints, then we'll become blissful. And then something wonderful will happen, the next part. Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam. We'll really enjoy what we're doing. Now we're engaged in good activities. We're engaged in good services, and we'll start to really develop a taste for this. So every day, instead of wanting to do so many things for our own enjoyment, we'll start wanting to do things every day for the Lord's enjoyment. And we start engaging, and we develop a really nice taste for it. So something wonderful will happen. Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam. All auspiciousness will just permeate your life. You'll be everywhere you go, everything will be good fortune. Everything you do will be good fortune. It's like it'll be an amazing turnaround. Instead of being in a miserable forest fire, which needs to be extinguished, now everything you do is just spreading good fortune everywhere. So, vidya varujivanam. And by your activities of good fortune, you'll accumulate more and more and more knowledge, and you'll be engaged in the highest and most enlightened activities, and your good fortune will keep increasing, keep increasing, keep increasing. And you will be, the wife and life of knowledge you'll be fully engaged in the most incredible activity. So what is this all describing? Remember, what was the first thing? What is this all describing? What is the process? No. Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. All these are the steps of what will happen. When you engage in getting together with a group and in trying to engage in kirtan of the Lord, trying to glorify the Lord and give pleasure to the Lord, these are the steps. Your heart will be cleansed. You'll know who you are. You'll know who God is. You'll know what you should be doing. And you'll start acting in good activities. And Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam, your miserable life, which might be miserable at the moment, or causing you a certain degree of suffering, will be extinguished. And then Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam, all good fortune will start to arise everywhere in your life. You will experience good fortune at every step of your life. And then Vidya Vadu Jivanam, you'll be fully absorbed and you'll be fully engaged in the perfect activities of the highest knowledge. The wife and life of knowledge will be with you. And so, what will happen from there? These are the higher stages. Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam, an ever-increasing bliss. You'll be more and more blissful every day, every second of every day. The more you engage, more and more bliss will just keep increasing, keep increasing, keep increasing. Pratipadam at every step. Purnamrita Swadanam. And you will relish this just complete nectar. And we can see actually the examples of the saints. They don't care. They don't care about getting old and dying and all these things. They don't take misery in this. They're just more and more. The more they engage in bhajan, the more they engage in this process of turning towards God and glorifying God and remembering God and hearing about God. They're just tasting more and more nectar. Complete nectar they will relish at every step. And then sarvatma snapanam, and all souls, they completely drown them. Like, when a saintly person, when you come in contact with a saintly person, it's intoxicating actually. Their ethos, their whole vibrato, or is that the right word? Their whole energy, they're just permeating something that's intoxicating. That's, wow, I want that. I want what they're feeling. So, this is the process of one who engages in Sankirtan. Now, I should say, because we actually should have ended already, but we started late and then late on the Kirtan and a few things. Maybe you should shut the deities, Madhav. Yes. So, basically what we need to do is we need to connect. We have to go back to step 1, Cheto Darpana Marjanam. And we have to engage in the process of cleaning our heart. And how will this get done? We'll need to take guidance of somebody who's on the higher stages. You're not, just like my son, Abhiram. He's toddling around and things like this. But he wants to stick his fingers in the electric sockets. He wants to do Nihir, you're just also experiencing. They want to get themselves in so much trouble. And the parents, they're like having to run around trying to always help and protect them. So similarly, we're like cosmic children. Even though we might be an adult's body, because we have no guidance, we're wandering around and we just say, I'm going to do whatever I want. We're like a cosmic toddler. And we're trying to stick our hands and body parts in electric sockets and getting involved in very dangerous things in this world. But if we take guidance of the parents, like if the toddler turns around and says yes, and respect, takes the guidance of the parents and the protection of the parents, he'll find himself out of all these miserable situations in life, and then he'll get to the higher stages of life and he'll mature and become a great child. So similarly, if we don't take guidance, we're going to keep finding ourselves in miserable situations in this world. And it's just inevitable. If you don't take guidance, if you're your own guidance, guess what's coming for you? Suffering. You will suffer, guaranteed. You're already probably suffering, and if you don't, if you don't realize it, I'm here to expose the situation. You're suffering, and it's okay, because the solution's here for everyone. We just have to turn towards God. We have to take the guidance of God's representative, which is the saintly person, who is sharing the eternal revelations of God of the Vedas, the ancient Vedas. And also, there will be, there are many gurus. There's not just one guru, only one guru. There are many gurus and they all have the same message, to love and serve God. We just have to find those persons and get under their shelter, serve them, and then we can give up our misery actually. Misery is simply only because we are trying to be the enjoyer. We think we are God and life is for our enjoyment and life is my oyster and I'm going to try to enjoy. But that's not going to ever make you enjoy. It's never made you enjoy before. It's only gotten you in trouble and it'll only continue to get you in trouble. And as your body gets old and starts to die, you're really not going to enjoy. So just take good guidance. And they will tell us how to engage in the Sri Krishna Sankirtan. And guess what? It's going to win. Param Vijayate. It will have supreme victory whether you join or not. If you don't join, no problem. You can try and fight it, but the whole material existence will sweep you away. And eventually you must join. At some point, you must come back to God. If you don't do it in this life, maybe 50 lives down the line, you'll get another opportunity. Maybe next life you'll get the opportunity. Maybe this life, a sincere person will take the opportunity gratefully. So that's what we're recommending here. You try to take a good opportunity. For someone like Elijah, you're just walking in off the street, and you say, "Oh, what is this I just signed up for?" Don't worry, there's no commitment, there's nothing. You just came and heard, and we're going to feed you, and that's really all. But what our main message is that we have access to something that will solve all your problems and give you the great spiritual gift of eternal bliss. But it's a process, and we have to change our ways. In the Christian religion, Jesus' first commandment was what? Does anyone know? Not the 2 commandments, this is most important. What's the first thing he would tell everyone? Does anyone know?
You just said before, right?
No, I didn't say it today.
Okay.
He would say, the first thing he would say is, repent. Repent means to be sorrowful for what you've done. And what does it really mean in Greek? The word for repent is metanoia. Meta, it means mind, and noia means to change. You must change your mind. You must change how you're going about life. If you're not happy, ultimately happy, you have to change. You must change. That's the first thing. You have to change your mind. And to what? Let the saint tell you. And Jesus gave a whole program on what to do next. So, similarly here, you have to cheto darpana marjanam. The mind needs a good cleaning. Engage in the process that will clean it. Find the most saintly personality you can find in life who is, steeped in knowledge of this process, and they will help you. And if you don't know any, I know some, and I will happily connect you to the saints that we know. And then that way I can guarantee you your success. Because you can be guaranteed success. It's easy, especially when you associate with them in person. We're just giving some remnants of what they've given to us. If you enjoy our association, you're just only enjoying what they have in a greater capacity. And just the little bit of drops of remnants that they've given. So anyway, please... we'll begin Arati now, the final puja, once Madhav is ready. But is there any questions up until this point or comments? I'll end here. Okay, so you guys want me to put you on the list to meet the saints? We are all ready to sign up? No, you can think about it and meditate on this. And it works. And you'll see, practically speaking, when you engage in this, so many miserable situations that I was in when I first started, they all went away, actually. And now I see, Shreya Karava Chandrika Vitaranam. More and more auspiciousness is entering my life since I began practicing this. More and more auspiciousness is coming, and so much misery has gone away already. So it will happen for you too, but you must engage in the process. You must take this prayer, which are the names of God, turn your consciousness to God and regularly steep your consciousness in God and follow God's representatives. Don't think you're God's representative. That is the greatest error you can make, thinking that you have it all figured out already and that I'll just directly, because we have the conditioned nature is also to cheat. We have the tendency to cheat ourselves and cheat others. You must follow. You must have guru, actually. This is an essential. Bhakti does not begin. The first 3 limbs of bhakti are Guru Padashraya, taking shelter of a guru. Then, officially, him accepting you. This is called Diksha. Him accepting you. He's testing you, and then he finally accepts you, called Diksha. And then 3, you render service to the guru, who is fully trained on how to properly engage in all these things. But guess what? Just like the toddler, who it's in their best interest to follow their parents' advice, because the parents only want to protect, it's the same way with us and a guru. We need like this. So anyhow, our gurus have told us that we should engage in puja. So we are going to do arati. So everyone, we can stand up, we can clear out the things. Thank you for joining, anyone who joined online. And